they handle you on both ends. Go to truprep.com. That's truprep.com to sign up today with True Prep.
Hey, this is John Flading. I'm the president and owner of ATL Turf Co. We are a family-owned, operated, independent local company. We have over 15 years of artificial grass design, installation, and sales experience. From premium artificial lawns and backyards, custom putting greens, sports fields, hardscape, drainage. We do both residential and commercial. If you can dream it, we can build it. Just go to atlturfco.com to schedule an appointment.
Hi, I'm Chris Lalamia, owner of the Trusted Toolbox. Got a to-do list a mile long? No problem. We've got the ultimate solution, our Handyman for a Day program. Here's how it works. You get a skilled handyman dedicated to knocking out your honey-do list. Paint touch-ups, drywall repairs, door adjustments, and much more, all done in one day. Call us now before the rush for your Handyman for a Day and call us at 770-623-3097 or visit us at thetrustedtoolbox.com. One call, one handyman, one day, the Trusted Toolbox.
Surveys reveal that peace of mind is a paramount concern for people approaching retirement. So, Coach Pete, what helps bring that peace of mind?
That sound means financial fill-up. That means every single year in retirement, you get a new check delivered to your checking account. And if you pass away, your spouse continues to get that check. That's where the value starts really hitting, because a lot of people pass away and they leave their spouse with nothing but bills. And then the spouse has to change zip codes in a bad way, like move out of this neighborhood, move over there to that apartment. So the secret of life is get on that green brick road and make sure that you have that financial fill-up strategy, which will deliver a check to you regardless of what happens in the stock market. This is not stock market money. This is safe money. Now, we like the stock market, but we like the stock market only after we have our safe money and our retirement income number planned out.
A comprehensive review, no cost, no obligation with Coach Pete's local trusted advisor, Craig Chandler of Chandler Wealth Management. 800-419-6164. 800-419-6164. 800-419-6164.
Command the road this summer in a new 2025 GMC Sierra Crew Cab 4-wheel drive elevation or SLT, powered by the legendary 5.3-liter V8.
Right now at Jim Ellis Buick GMC, save $10,950 off MSRP, plus take an extra $2,500 off with a qualifying trade for an impressive total savings of $13,450. With more than 80 Sierras in stock at Jim Ellis Buick GMC, you can drive yours home today. Visit JimEllisBuickGMC.com to start or complete your entire purchase online.
Or shop in person on Peachtree Boulevard just inside the perimeter, or on Highway 20 in Beaufort. Jim Ellis Buick GMC, we are professional grade. Offer applies to 2025 GMC Sierra Crew Cab and 4-wheel drive elevation and SLT models with 5.3 V8. Example stock number GS4511, MSRP $67,574. After $10,950 in Jim Ellis discounts, sale price is $56,624. Excludes TABT and state fees. $2,500 trade-in assistance applies to 2011 or newer trade-ins. Expires 7/31/25.
Hey, Georgia neighbors, it's time to expect more from your Medicare Advantage. Discover Sonder Health's custom plans tailored just for Georgians. Saunders offers unique benefits, including special plans for those living with chronic conditions. Some plans even come with grocery or gas benefits to support your overall well-being. Sonder Health makes it easy to get the coverage you need. See for yourself what today's Medicare Advantage can do for you. Visit SonderHealthPlans.com, a healthier state of life. Sonder Health Plans is an HMO and PPO with Medicare contracts. Enrollment in Sonder Health Plans depends on contract renewal.
Stream Clay Travis and Buck Sexton, Glenn Beck, Fox News, and even NASCAR on Sundays, anywhere on the Extra 106.3 app. Download the app now and get 24/7 access to the live stream, the latest news, and everything you need to know about Atlanta's only conservative talk station. Download the Extra 106.3 app for Apple or Android and check out even more great original content at thepodcastpark.com.
A friend of mine shared a story how he likes for things to go wrong on vacation because it makes his vacation more memorable, and it never made sense to me.
Sounds awful.
It does. It sounds terrible. But when you really think about it, I mean, he's not wrong. You always remember it. I'm not sure he's exactly right either. Those, you had a tough vacation in St. Augustine, you said.
Flagler Beach over in Florida. So at the time, my wife's grandfather owned about a two-bedroom condo there.
Okay.
It had it there since like the 1970s, and the place did look like the 1970s. It was hilarious, but it was free. It was comfortable. Nice little community. You walk across the street, and you have some of the prettiest beaches in all of Florida.
For sure.
So the year that we went there was 2011. My little one, who's now 14, she was 1 year old, and so we're taking her to the beach. Right, first beach trip. The day we got there, we noticed there was like blood all over the carpet.
Oh.
Like, this is strange. Why is there blood all over the carpet? As Chris like immediately, what are you talking about?
Chris, our board op in for Jure.
So we had, at the time, we were told, hey, there was a family that was renting this place beforehand, and they'd had it for like a month. Turns out it was like a graduation gift that a son had given, or that a dad had given his son. We saw marijuana pipes that had been broken on the ground, and at some point somebody in there stepped on it and tracked blood like all over the floors. Like at the time, it's my one is my little one's 1, and her older cousin's like 1.5.
Oh, no.
And they're like looking at this glass, and we're having to like grab it from them. We got upstairs, and it turns out the dude who was renting the place had stuck all of his leftover fast food containers underneath the bed.
What?
So there was just one McDonald's thing after another, like all under the bed. I'm like, how does the cleaning staff not find this stuff?
Yeah,
like this is nuts. And so I'm like grossed out the entire time.
Sure.
I'm like, there's blood on the floors. There's glass. Like we're having to pick up glass off the floor. And then there's basically what's left over cartons of like Big Macs underneath the beds.
Good Lord.
Pretty messed up. And so I spent the whole week like grossed out, right? Finally, the kicker, the thing that like ended it and made
worse?
it the most, the trip you'll never forget. Walking down the beach, we knew 1 mile to the guard post, lifeguard post down there. And we start walking down there, and we're probably about 20, 30 yards away. My father-in-law comes walking back the other direction. He's like, y'all don't need to go down there. I'm like, what? What do you mean? So it's like July 4th weekend during this time. An attorney drove his car down to the beach, got out of his car, and blew his brains out.
Holy cow, dude.
The first person who got to him was my father-in-law.
Don't go that way.
Now, he's a guy who spent 35 years working for the U.S. Army. He's been deployed a multitude of times.
He's seen some stuff.
He was like, yeah, ain't no coming back from that. Because he kind of gave him the little rollover. He's like, nope. And obviously guns underneath him.
Yeah.
Some other people showed up. First responders showed up. He had to stay kind of on site. But had we kept walking, we would have walked right into a body. So between, and by the way, every single time we turn on the air conditioning, it was like pure marijuana.
Of course. Because that odor never leaves.
So yes, when it came down to, you have a memorable, it made it the best vacation ever when the hot water runs out. Nah, dog.
Yeah.
Dude blew his head off.
Yeah, that's different.
As we're walking down with my 1-year-old on the beach, and the house was awful.
So maybe he misspoke when he said it's the most memorable for a good reason, because we remember it is the most memorable.
Haven't ever gone back since.
I don't blame you. I think I would skip Flagler
I'm done.
Beach.
Done with Flagler.
Yeah, no thank you. No thank you.
So there you go.
There you go. So
hope that delivered on the worst vacation ever.
Oh my gosh, I can't imagine. Because I've never experienced anything like that. I mean, to be honest, we've always been so fortunate. We've never had anything really go wrong. I mean, I remember going one time and I lost my car keys, and it took a day to figure out where we wasted a day.
It took us an hour to get into the restaurant.
Yeah. When it's stuff like that, that's just an annoyance.
Yeah, we lost her mouse ears somewhere in the park.
Yeah, I don't know what you experienced, man. That's next level.
That's bad.
Yeah, it's terrible, terrible, terrible. Lord. Don't ever have a vacation like that. and if you see it trending that way, pack up, go home.
It's time to go home. Just cut it off early.
We're
done here.
Cut your losses and go home. The left needs Donald Trump. Donald Trump, Los, does not need the left.
I've also realized, because I forgot the rules of TDS. TDS, when it comes to Trump derangement syndrome, this has now been proven in medical journals. The reason why these people bring this stuff up, it's not for you. It's because it's the only thing that makes them feel better. So, and I point this out. So I spent the entire weekend in the water with Tug.
Yeah, on Friday.
I was like, come on over, let's go hit the pool.
Buddy, and we did and had a ball.
We had a great time. Sunday, was in the pool for like 2.5 hours. Saturday, a little bit of weather. We found some other stuff to do. I wasn't anywhere near X. I was not even monitoring. I don't care. It's just whatever.
Same here, man. You're spending time with your family. Oh my gosh.
In my opinion,
it does matter.
In my mind, and Chris, write this down. Don't do anything for free that someone would pay you for. Now, there's going to be some situations where you donate something to someone or you volunteer your time. But I have looked at it as, why am I going to argue with you on X for an extended amount of time when you can just listen to my radio show?
That's right. Call in and argue.
Yeah.
If you want to.
Let's argue in a place where this is going to help me in the audience and be instructive. And you actually don't get a delete button.
Yeah. I don't
All right,
have
let's see
time.
how that works.
I don't have time for these fools.
But you know why they do it? Because of TDS.
To help themselves.
So they spent the entire weekend like sending me stuff like, well, what if you have to say anything about this? And I'm like, I'm not paying any attention to it. And I realized this. I don't need them. They need me to feel good.
Yeah.
Like, this is how they deal with that crazy amount of depression, that TDS. Why do you think Aunt Peg, whenever you show up, tells you something about Donald Trump?
She can't wait.
It's not for you.
No, I know.
It's to make her feel better.
And that's what MSNBC is, a network. How
Is
do we
doing.
make them feel better? How do we make ourselves feel better? That's the reason we talk about Donald Trump in a negative way nonstop, because they're trying to help their own TDS. Not, again, like Los is saying, not for you and I to watch, because we're not going to. We can put it away. They can't. They
Ever.
rely on it.
Ever.
They rely on it for their own well-being.
I mean, I went home for 4 years and went, listen, the president has dementia and he ain't here. But it wasn't a thing that got me up at night and said, hey, who's that show host? I'm going to send him a tweet at 3 o'clock in the morning.
Right.
You know? Like, there was no point where I went, wow, this is important enough for me to change. I was just like, as an observer, I will tell you, this guy is not here. And we don't know who's leading the country. And here's the problem. To think that this is the amount of, and again, I'm not saying it's because, hey, you follow Tug and I, or you listen to what we do on the radio, and sure, those interactions, totally fine. It's just when it's wildly out there that I'm like, what motivated you to send that at whatever time you did? And I haven't even talked about any of this stuff.
Dude, what possesses you?
It's your own make you feel good. Mm-hmm. You know how like everybody
get that dopamine.
You got a little can of smell good.
Yeah.
You know, got to put some smell good on you. I think that's their little can of feel good. Like, let me make sure. Ooh, Rachel Maddow told me that I should feel good about this. I'm gonna go ahead and put something out there, or I'm gonna show up to work at the water cooler and be like, hey, did you hear how we beat Trump on this?
Dude, I'm telling you, that
it's wild.
I've seen that happen in our own office.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, last Thursday, it was one of those moments where something was happening politically, and a coworker who is very decidedly different than I and you probably you listening.
Who, if I know who you're talking about, by the way, I've had them into my home. We have a great time together.
As long as you can stay away from the politics.
We just don't bring up politics.
Yeah, you have to. You have to stay away from the politics. And the crazy thing is, we can. Sometimes he can't.
It's a TDS, man.
It is. But it is exactly the way you laid it out. It happened in our office on Thursday, and you listening right now probably see it happening in your office with some sort of regularity with a mixture of people politically.
Now, this did happen to me during COVID. I was talking to a gentleman the other day, and he was telling me about how he accidentally called the Cleveland Guardians the Cleveland Indians in front of his family. And they like, oh my God, like you can't say that. Like here's this problem. And he goes, so when did that change? I go, that was like 2021.
Yeah.
He's like, I just can't get used to it. I grew up in Ohio. I grew up in Toledo. It's just it's the Indians to me. I'm trying to do, and I go, you realize how silly it is that your family's concerned about whether or not you call them the Guardians of the Indians? At one point, you had a government where nobody was mad about being told you can't go to work.
Yeah. Or you had a president that couldn't function properly but told you what to do and said you were a threat to the country.
But that was my anger towards it immediately. Like, I will never get past the fact that everyone's like, well, if we just change these sports teams' names, it'll be fine. And I'm sitting back going, why are y'all that into this? You're not even allowed to go to work.
Dude, it's nuts.
They're using this against you, and you're complaining about a team name?
And you're hook, line, and sinker buying into it. And then what are they going to do, Los? When Donald Trump says, yeah, they should change it back to the Washington Redskins, why would they not? What are they going to do when that happens? Because it's a-coming. At least the conversation, anyway. Morning Extra, Next 106.3, 8 o'clock hour, brought to you by Central Heating and Air Conditioning, your Atlanta carrier experts, 770-GET-HEAT, centralheat.com. If MAGA was a cult, like the left suggests, that's the discussion. If it were, Next on Extra.
It's time for the Bortz Report, exclusively on Atlanta's only conservative news and talk station, Extra 106.3.
Alligator Alcatraz. I love it. I got the t-shirt. Didn't you just know that as soon as you let those Democrat elected representatives inspect this detention facility, they would come out with tales of complete abject horror? That's what they do. That's what they intended to do. It wasn't going to turn out any other way. One of the objections that really gets to me is, oh, it's going to be an environmental catastrophe. How? Just how is Alligator Alcatraz going to be an environmental catastrophe? The facility was already there. It has been there for decades. A concrete runway, thousands of feet long, and support structures and concrete surrounding it. No concrete was added for Alligator Alcatraz. All of the equipment, the trailers, the tents, everything was put on the concrete that is already there. How does that cause an environmental catastrophe? All of the water that they are drinking and bathing with is brought in. All of the wastewater is taken out, including alien poo, garbage, all removed, trash, all removed. Where is the environmental catastrophe? Answer: it's not there. It doesn't exist. Remember, that place was going to be an international airport with hundreds of flights a day. Now you put 1,000 illegal aliens, not migrants, illegal aliens there, and the world is coming to an end. You could expect no less from the Democrats. Neil Bortz, Extra 106.3.
The legend Neil Bortz is only on Extra 106.3. Hey, it's Tug, and here's what you missed from the Talkmaster.
Zoran Mamdani, that Muslim Democrat socialist candidate for mayor in New York City. I so hope that he wins. Turn over one of the most important financial centers in the world to a socialist.
Catch Neil's commentary every day on Extra 106.3 or listen anytime on the Extra 106.3 app.
We don't want to move on. We want to know what the freaking thing is about Jeffrey Epstein and who's involved and who is doing what with little girls, and let's out them and be done with it.
The Kimmer Show every afternoon from 3 to 6 p.m. on Extra 106.3 and the Extra app. WFOM and W292 EV Marietta, a Dickey broadcasting station. The 9 a.m. hour is presented by Southern Exteriors. Quality and precision you can rely on.
Only force can get Russia to stop. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. That's what Ukraine's president posted on Telegram after meeting with U.S. envoy Keith Kellogg, who's visiting Kyiv. With Volodymyr Zelensky also writing on X, he's deeply grateful for American support as President Trump readies Patriot missile air defense and other military aid to help Ukraine battle Russia.
I am very disappointed with President Putin. And I thought he was somebody that meant what he said, and he'll talk so beautifully, and then he'll bomb people at night. We don't like that.
The morning after, the president told reporters that at Joint Base Andrews, he'll meet with NATO's leader an hour from now. The president again posted this morning on Truth Social the U.S. has been ripped off on trade for decades as he threatens 30% tariffs on European and Mexican imports starting next month while negotiations on trade deals continue. The Trump administration is readying an appeal to a federal judge's ruling Friday limiting federal agents' ability to target illegal immigrants in raids in California. Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem tells NBC's Meet the Press.
What I would encourage everybody is that if they're concerned about being in this country illegally, go home.
This follows raids at marijuana farms last week that detained 361 migrants here illegally.
Within that number, DHS says were some bad actors, including multiple illegal migrants from countries like Mexico and El Salvador with previous charges like attempted child molestation, kidnapping, burglary, and DUI. This morning, the FBI is also offering a $50,000 reward for information leading to the arrest of an apparent active shooter at the scene. The Trump administration says it also rescued 14 children, 10 who were unaccompanied.
Fox's Matt Finn in L.A. 9 people are dead in Massachusetts after a fire raged in an assisted living facility. Dozens of others injured.
It's horrible. I mean, this is the kind of thing you don't want in the middle of July. Sunday night.
Fall River Mayor Paul Coogan. Firefighters were able to rescue some residents that were hanging out of windows calling for help. America's listening to Fox.
We all know the importance of good daily habits, whether it's getting your steps in, stretching those limbs, or eating right. Doing it on the regular is key. That's why if you're dealing with everyday aches and pain, it's time to bring Relief Factor into your routine. Relief Factor is a daily supplement that fights pain naturally. Developed by doctors, Relief Factor uses a special formula of 4 natural ingredients. Relief Factor doesn't just mask pain, it helps reduce or even eliminate it. In fact, the longer you take it, the more effective it is. So call 1-800-4-RELIEF and try their 3-week quick start for only $19.95. That's less than $1 a day. Simply call 1-800-4-RELIEF. That's 1-800-4-RELIEF. Wherever you're having pain, don't let it keep you from living the life you want. Make Relief Factor part of your daily routine. Go to ReliefFactor.com or call 1-800-4-RELIEF. That's 1-800-4-RELIEF.
You may have seen the Bortz billboard all across town. Let everyone know Bortz is back and his new home is Extra 106.3.
Tug and Los until 10 on Extra 106.3. It is Home Run Derby Day. Matt Olson will represent the Braves tonight. See if we can get us a winner. Has there ever been a Brave to win the Home Run Derby? I don't recall that ever happening.
Nope.
If you don't, okay. Chris says no. Maybe today may be a good start. Let's maybe get one today. I think today be now is as fine a time as any.
You're gonna want your trophy?
Yeah, that's right.
Add to the trophy case.
Yeah, that's right. Absolutely.
I got my World Series, and now I also have my
Home Run Derby.
Pete Alonso Memorial Trophy for Home Run Derby.
Yeah, exactly. Can you?
Pete Alonso's the guy who hasn't won anything outside of Home Run Derbies.
That's it, right? Yes, and he's a ball player though, dude.
No, he can play,
and that's the thing. Like,
he's not very valued because he's a one-trick pony.
I know, but I don't understand why like he isn't respected more because he like people seem to like really dislike him, and from everything that I can tell, everything that I read about him, he's like a great dude off the field. Like he's a great clubhouse guy, great dude off the field. He's got all the qualities you would want, but for whatever reason, people just do not like the dude.
He hit 29 years old, and the most he was able to command. Now, keep in mind, like the top players in the game, a lot of these guys are getting like 7-8 year deals. Sure, that's probably not realistic. But even at 29, he got a 2-year deal.
Yeah.
And again, it's for good money. It's $54 million. It's,
Yeah, he's done
the
okay.
average is 27, which is it puts you right there with all the other quality players in baseball. But most of these guys are signing 5 years with maybe a 6-year option.
Yeah. And
he
he
didn't get that.
He's like, what's going on here? How come I'm getting robbed every time?
He's like, I thought I'm a good player.
Yeah. Well, you thought it. That's the problem. Only you thought it. Yeah, but even outside of that, I just mean the people that just really dislike Pete Alonso, which never makes sense.
All right, let me give you just a quick view of the difference here.
Yep.
So he got a 2-year, $54 million contract, did Pete Alonso, again, the home run derby champion. He's done it a couple of years.
Mm-hmm.
The projection in October of 2023, this was from Spotrac, and they track all this stuff. Their projection at the time was he would receive a 9-year, $297 million contract.
Goodness. Man.
That's what the numbers were supposed to be at, according to them, on their projections.
Talk about a swing and a miss.
So 2 and 54. Nobody's starving.
Yes, right.
All right.
Yeah.
Nobody's starving.
Yeah, he's paying the rent.
But
He's paying light bill.
In all sports, just as in everything in your office, if you got somebody who you know you're more talented than they are, and they're making 40% more than you are, man, you're hot about that too.
Yeah, probably not going to be real happy. But ain't nobody crying for Pete Alonso.
No,
So,
it's fine.
But
I'm just saying, it's all relative.
Is he in the home run derby tonight?
No, I don't believe
I've
so.
not seen his name.
He is not.
I hadn't seen his name, so he's like even giving up on that. He was like, "Fine, I'm not even going to do that anymore."
I only got 2 and 54. I'm
That's
not
right.
doing any of this
No
stuff anymore.
Extracurricular activities? No, thank you. You're not using my name. Having people boo for me.
He had a run, and then I think he ended up missing out on it the next 2 years. And so, listen, he's back-to-back champion like 2018, 2019, something like that.
He's done all right. If MAGA was a cult, things would be handled very differently by the people in the cult. People would see things very differently, and it is only one way, the way the cult leader sees it. That's what tells you that MAGA is not a cult.
Well, at least that's the way that the left is now spinning it. Mm-hmm. Remember, it's been MAGA and that cult, and here's how they are. if this was the case, and keep in mind, we're talking about a very large tent as of now. Like the amount of people that voted for Donald Trump that have interest in this, everyone from libertarians to former Democrats to people that still consider themselves Democrats, but that their values align with what is going on in this big tent. If it was a cult, it would never have gotten this big. No cult gets this big. There's a reason why you have Democrats who have a 19% approval rating, because their cult is sitting back going, y'all aren't cultish enough.
Yeah, you're not communist enough.
And so if, for instance, all the discussion that MSNBC has been on all morning is the Epstein files. This is gonna blow up MAGA. This is gonna blow. This is their one thing that they have. It's been all day. They did one thing on the All-Star game, and this has been their discussion point all day. This is the marching orders.
Yeah.
If MAGA was a cult, this would have already been no problem, because Donald Trump would have said, it doesn't matter, look away. And we would all gone, yes,
master.
That's right.
Yeah, that's right.
It's not.
Yeah. People feel differently about it. And that's okay. But I think the
that's
main
healthy.
Idea, yeah, it is. Absolutely.
It's not healthy to them, because they're like, wait a minute, you don't step outside of this stuff.
Our people don't. Our people never step out of line.
They know if they do, they're ostracized from the party. I mean, at one point, you had it with David Hogg, who brought up, we need to stop running off young men. And what did they do 2 weeks later? Ran off the young man.
Yeah, you're out of here, dude. And that's not me feeling bad for David Hogg. It's just obvious that that's what's happened.
Because in a cult, when I say, because a cult leader told me, sky is green. And I go, hold on a second. I was just taking a look. It's pretty blue. You're out of here, dude.
Gone.
That's how that works. That's a true cult mindset.
So which side is the cult?
Clearly, there's a cult mindset on their end. Better not step outside the cult. I thought about this over the weekend too, Tug, and I want to see if this kind of resonates with you.
Yeah.
You know, at one point, counterculture movement was just about taking everything in society and going, let's remake it, let's ignore it. You tell me I got to do this, I got to go work for the man. That was counterculture. Mm-hmm. And it really, you could make the point, it wasn't like it was tied into one political party or another. It was a cultural difference, and this is how we're going to act. And in fact, it was so dangerous that the government, under the Democrats, ended up using the CIA to infiltrate the hippie movement and get rid of it. Like, that was part of the plan. I started thinking about it. If I don't want to go along with a lot of your big government, like, does that make me kind of counterculture? Because if I told you, Tug, I need you to do this because this is what we're doing, you would say, no.
Yeah, I don't subscribe to that. I'm not on board with big government. No, thank you.
If I told you need to take this shot, here's what we're doing. Okay. Hey, I need you to pay this in taxes because these people don't want to work.
Don't want to do that.
I need you, and I can.
Yeah.
I need you to take. I need you to take the shoes off at the airport.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, how many of these do you want to go through?
But there's 1,000 of them.
Free will is the new counterculture, and free will only exists on our side.
Without a doubt, because you can't think outside the lines as you described with David Hogg. And another thing, Trump is countercultural. What does the entirety of the media tell you? That he's wrong, that he's the devil, he's a dictator. So what would the counterculture be? Go opposite of that. Rolling Stones should be celebrating Donald Trump, but they're not, because they're no longer countercultural.
If you happen to make the establishment angry, and that is what Donald Trump is, more than anything, Republican, Democrat, whatever you want to call, he upsets the establishment. That is counterculture.
Right, exactly.
That is free will. That is what I am aligning myself with, because if it makes big man, big dad out there angry, like, why not? Let's do it.
Let's rock the boat a little bit.
Let's make them upset. Let's call them the Redskins.
Yeah. Let's call them the
Indians.
Yeah.
This is what we're doing. Yeah, let's call them the Braves. Here's my chop in your face.
That's right.
This is counterculture stuff. This is free will stuff. This is sticking it to the man, and it's now in our tent on our side. This is what it is now.
Which is why when you see the band Rage Against the Machine, and they're all for the machine, and you can't figure out why, because they didn't. They're not countercultural. They are all a part of the establishment. They are part of the machine. They are the machine that they are supposedly raging against. Rolling Stone magazine used to be that. Spin magazine, all these magazines, they would always tell you, go against the grain. Not anymore. If you read them, man, it is you go with what big government tells you to do.
They're still under the impression that Mike Pence is the Republican Party.
Yeah. You're right about that, which couldn't be further from the truth.
That is what their belief is.
And Mike Pence will tell you, MAGA, that's a hiccup.
And to think, a guy, like I think about what goes on right now on the left, and you can pick out whatever, Bernie Sanders. Let's just go Bernie Sanders as an example. Bernie Sanders, his counterculture is telling you a complete adherence to whatever the government tells you.
Mm-hmm.
That's his version of counterculture, is to do whatever the government tells you, pay whatever the government tells you, exist in order for the government to have power.
And don't listen to my words, or actually, don't watch my actions, listen to my words. Yes, I'm against millionaires and billionaires. But Bernie, you have 3 or 4 houses on the coast.
But Bernie,
don't pay no mind to that. Make sure you listen to what I'm telling you. Donald Trump is the bad one. I know I said don't listen to millionaires and billionaires, and I am one now. That's all that. You want to talk about a cult mindset? To be able to look at that, what Bernie Sanders has been peddling for years, and then see the change in him and not say, wait, hang on. Joe Rogan figured it out, but so many people have not.
So consider the difference. And the difference goes right over to a guy like John Fetterman, who, again, will never vote with us.
Nope.
That is fine.
That's right.
But when you're talking and what you're saying jumps off the page from the rest of the cult, that's why
that's why they're excommunicated.
The cult is like, listen, I'm glad you vote our way, but you don't hold the card anymore. You're not a member.
Yeah, we're pulling your card for sure. And will we celebrate that you vote the way we need you to? Yes. But is it going to help you in good standing? Absolutely not. We have no use for you. And as a matter of fact, we'll primary you if we get a chance. We'll get you out of there if we get a chance, because you don't conform the way you're supposed to. Dude is I admire him for being brave. I admire him for having courage to say the things that he's not supposed to say. Matter of fact, do we have that cued? Listen to this.
Absolutely unacceptable, terrible, awful. ICE agents are just doing their job, and I fully support that. And for me, and people in my party might want to abolish it or treat them as criminals or anything that's inappropriate and outrageous. ICE performs an important job for our nation.
Yes, they do. You're exactly right. And if you could only vote the way that you're speaking, that would be really, really helpful to those ICE agents that are being shot at by your party that don't agree with your assessment that ICE is a good thing and you fully support them.
What do you consider this? Because I was looking over at govtrack.us, and what this does, this site gives you an ideological score and then where certain senators, congressmen fall in that ideological score. So, for instance, if you want to talk about, right in the middle, you're going to end up having people like Mark Kelly from Arizona, which that was the discussion about, hey, maybe this guy should be the person who runs for president and not Kamala Harris.
Yeah.
Like, that was the discussion point.
You mean a guy of accomplishment, an astronaut?
Imagine that. It doesn't take very long to get right over to Fetterman, where it's, yeah, you vote with us, but the complaint is, why are you not Elizabeth Warren? Why are you not voting way out here with the rest of them? And that's the whole anger point with them. The Blumenthals of the world, they're looking at it and saying, how do Padilla, there's another one where they're so far to the left on the spectrum when it comes to the tracking. Why are you not along with us, Fetterman? And Fetterman is very simple. Dude's in a purple state.
And he has to be.
He has to be.
Even if he's just playing the political game, he has to be. Because if he wants to stay in elected office, he can't alienate those people that completely disagree with his party.
All right, so here's my fun guess for you. If you had to guess the state, not the actual person, the state which the most conservative Republican senator comes from, where would you guess that to be?
The most conservative?
From an ideological perspective of votes.
Tennessee.
Not bad. You're close.
Alabama.
Florida.
Yes, of course.
Rick Scott.
The heck am I talking about?
Rick Scott now right behind.
I can't believe I even swung and missed at that, though. That's ridiculous.
But number 2 is Marsha Blackburn from Tennessee. So
Okay.
So that's the idea, is that from an ideological perspective, you're voting kind of according to your state.
Mm-hmm.
And John Fetterman is a Democrat in a purple state. He's going to not be full go Elizabeth Warren, but he's obviously not going to be in the middle.
So in his voting, as you look at it, center left, is that what?
He is right here on this spectrum. So here's your mid
center,
and then here's where Fetterman's falling versus all the other far more so leftists in terms of the analysis methodology.
Yeah. So those people in Pennsylvania that voted for him, that are, because remember, he was going against Dr. Oz, so he had to have Republicans vote for him.
Yeah.
And he knows that if he wants to stay elected, that he better not go too far, because he will lose their vote completely. And I would like to think that common sense is at play. I mean, I know he's had a stroke and he struggles all kinds of, with mental faculties and all kinds of health issues. But I would like to think common sense plays a role in it. To see ICE, how can you look at ICE and go, yeah, man, they're the SS. They're part of Nazi Germany. What?
They're just doing a job. It's actually
which Donald Trump campaigned on doing.
It's on the books.
It's not a surprise.
This is not some organization that we just dreamt up out of nowhere and we're like, whoa, let's bust out the shock troops.
It's just, none of it adds up. Well, it does add up if you know their point of view and what they want to do and why they're furious over ICE deporting people, or at least arresting people for deportation. They see their voting base being chipped away at. They've already seen Donald Trump chip away at the financial part of their base with USAID. Now they're chipping away and seeing their voter base being chipped away in illegals that they would like to legalize and turn into voters.
And this was my point. You have 3.5 years left of this.
Yeah, we're only 6 months in.
Without a doubt. You got 3.5 years of this is what we're executing.
Yeah.
This is what we're going to do. And then the fun part, if you just want to go down the road a little bit, if Congress ever decides, well, we're going to enact legislation off of the BBB to defund ICE, guess who has to sign that? Donald J. Trump.
Veto.
Good luck with that. It'll never get through the Senate either.
Not going to happen. 9 o'clock hour is brought to you by Southern Exteriors.
Got him over a barrel here, man.
In every sense of the word.
So don't worry about their craziness on TV they're trying to push.
You got all the levers of government. You swept. Look, are you going to trade in the successes because you didn't get exactly what you wanted in a document? Would you trade that in? Because I don't know I would. I'm not. I don't believe, and I don't believe that that the Trump voter will either. Can you be disappointed? Yes. Can you be like, man, that's an injustice? But I would bounce back to you. What about the injustice of Fauci? What about the many injustices that we've all seen and heard from and heard about over the years? They're all still sitting out there. 9 o'clock hour brought to you by Southern Exteriors, your home exterior solution since 1999. 877-9-SOUTHERN, southernexteriors.co. Let's focus on the big wins. And there are so many, and many, many more to come next on Extra 106.3.
If you love 106.3, then you'll love the all-new Extra 106.3 app. It's loaded with replays of your favorite shows like The Morning Extra and The Kimmer Show, podcasts from conservative voices across the South, and access to Extra's crystal clear live stream from anywhere in Georgia. Grab it now for Apple or Android.
Hey, it's a Kimmer. Okay, you're driving along. Suddenly you hear that horrible sound of metal and crunching. It's an accident. Even if it's a little minor fender bender, man, that could be a nightmare. First, obviously, take care of yourself. But before you make a deal with an insurance company or anybody else, call David Van Sant with Van Sant Law. You know why? Because he used to work for the insurance company, so he knows how to get the right settlement and right away. Van Sant Law. Don't forget, if you don't get paid, they don't get paid. Protecting your interests. Insurance is great, but it's complicated. 855-GA-INJURY or vansantlaw.com.
An investment in your your home is something that will pay off in the future, but it's something that you can enjoy right now. Hi, I'm Dan Watkins, owner of all Four Seasons Garage, Entry Doors, and Windows. A beautiful new garage door, entry doors, and windows are an investment you can love every day, and they will increase your home's value, energy efficiency, and curb appeal. All Four Seasons, trusted in Atlanta for over 25 years, exceptional customer service, and high-quality work. When trust matters, trust us. All the number 4 seasonsgarages.com.
Good morning, Mike. What you eating?
You gotta try this.
I can hear you crunching from the next cube over.
This is amazing. I just discovered it this weekend at Lidl. It's Greek Goddess Gourmet Granola. They were sampling it, so I tried it. Then I bought 6 bags.
Wow. Is it cereal?
Can be, or an amazing trail mix. It's great for a meal or a snack.
What's in it?
Well, they have 2 flavors, maple oat and harvest nut, which is my favorite. It's made with whole grain oats, almonds, pecans, raisins, coconut, and the sweet taste of pure maple syrup. Maple oat is a simpler take on their delicious granola. It's got wholesome oats, plump raisins, coconut, and maple syrup.
That sounds healthy and delicious.
That's why I can't stop crunching, Susan.
Greek Goddess Gourmet Granola. It's a breakfast or on-the-go snack you can feel good about. It's dairy-free and gluten-free, and with only 2 grams of added sugar per serving, even your belly will love it. Pick some up at Lidl, Amazon, GreekGoddessGourmet.com, or at specialty stores near you.
Gentlemen, listen up. When it's not hard, it's really hard. Did you know that 50% of men over 50 have some form of ED? It's true, and I'm one of them. ED followed me everywhere. Heck, even my initials are ED. I'm Dr. Eric Deal from Total Body Therapy of Georgia, and I know ED. It can lead to feelings of embarrassment, stress, and sadness. But there's good news. I can fix it. I fixed mine, and I can fix yours too. At Total Body Therapy of Georgia, we are experts in the P-shot, testosterone replacement, regenerative therapy, Trimix to create an erection, and more. Guys, ED won't get better on its own, but I can help you today. Call us at 404-777-1911. That's 404-777-1911, or learn about us more online at tbtofga.com. So take it from me, ED, Dr. Eric Deal at Total Body Therapy of Georgia. Call 404-777-1911 or online at tbtofga.com.
For nearly 2,000 severely injured veterans, everyday life has become filled with barriers. So we build specially adapted homes at Homes for Our Troops. And thanks to our donors and supporters, this life-changing gift of freedom is provided mortgage-free to these veterans. But we need you to join us, too, in completing this important mission. Please visit hfotusa.org and help build homes and rebuild lives.
Are you looking to hire? ZipRecruiter finds the best candidate for your job fast. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ziprecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free.
The stories that matter to you. These are your Georgia headlines.
Good morning, I'm Tug Cowart with your headlines. Operation Southern Slowdown kicks off today and will involve more police and law enforcement on Georgia's major highways and interstates. According to data from the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, 349 people died in crashes involving speeding drivers, an increase of over 35% over the last 5 years. State and local law enforcement arrested 446 people for driving under the influence and issued more than 12,544 citations and warnings during last year's operation. Yesterday, 2 drivers were pulled over on Georgia 400 for doing more than double the speed limit, hitting speeds of 112 miles per hour. The good guys saved the day when DNR officers from Gainesville sedated a black bear to remove a plastic jug stuck over the bear's head. The bear was released back into the wilderness in Rabun County. The public can now pay their respects to Jimmy Carter and former First Lady Rosalind Carter at their grave sites in Plains, Georgia. A part of the Jimmy Carter National Historic Park, the site opened on Friday. The 2 headstones rest in a memorial garden, which was designed by Rosalind herself. All-Star festivities continue today. The All-Star Village is open from 10 until 6 at the Cobb Galleria, and Matt Olson will represent the Braves in the Home Run Derby tonight at Truist Park. And weather today, sunny and 92. Tug and Los until 10, 9 o'clock hour, brought to you by Southern Exteriors, your home exterior solution since 1999, 8779 Southern. SouthernExteriors.co is the website. So there was a huge Turning Point USA event that went on in Tampa over the weekend, and there was definitely discussions of the Epstein thing because there, people like Charlie Kirk were upset about it. Look, I get it. I understand. Anytime justice isn't served, You're disappointed. You want to see justice served. That's the only way we keep a society worth living in.
Otherwise, we live with the animals.
Yes, you're exactly right. But I would like to know, are you just as angry that Dr. Fauci was given a pardon by an auto pen and Joe Biden had no idea that it even happened? That's what's being alleged. That's the way we understand that.
That's what we found out last night.
Having come down last night, that it was a staffer that decided to do it. And this is the same staffer that was a huge part of the government censorship of COVID information on social media. Interesting that they would be connected the way that they are. And what was the number, Los? I think he said 5 million people ultimately is what worldwide COVID killed.
That was what the number that's been publicly thrown out there, 5 million dead.
And we know that Dr. Fauci knew that gain of function research was going on.
We funded it.
Yeah, we paid for it. We funded it. We knew it was happening. So are you just as angry about that? You should be, and I hope you are. I hope you are. But you can't take your eye off the ball. You can't miss the success of the last 6 months, or you can't be willing to throw it into the garbage, or I don't think you can.
This is what Tucker Carlson was bringing up. And I think this was the adult conversation you needed to have in the room. Because to me, if you told me that in 6 months you would dent or destroy Iran's plans to develop a nuclear weapon, and you did that, that's pretty good. If you told me you got inflation down to now under 2%, which is basically non-existent, okay, that sounds pretty good. If fuel prices are as low as they've been or lower in 4 to 5 years, that's pretty, like, these are all 6 month things. These are all like, how quickly has this happened? You have peace in Africa. You have, at least right now, they're not shooting at each other when it comes to the Iranians and also the Israelis. You know, we're brokering peace around. There's a lot of good things that are happening here. And yet, you are then trying to tell me that somehow, because I don't get to see some files that I don't believe even exist anyway, that somehow I'm supposed to throw all that away? Why don't you take a listen? This is Tucker Carlson, and he's bringing up about focus on the big things. Don't worry about it. Tucker Carlson basically bringing up how you need to focus on the big wins and the big stuff that is going on in this country. And what he likened it to was, you can have the scenario where you're able to get the boys off the girls' soccer field. Like, good.
Yeah.
Like, that's something to goal.
And especially with you having 2 daughters, that's an important
That's a goal. That's
thing.
important to me.
Yeah.
That's important.
Because that actually affects you.
But
that could actually affect you.
But if you're ending things there, then you're missing the big picture. Then you're not getting around to the stuff that really actually matters and what's going on. Yes, do I wish that I knew for sure that Bill Clinton is as scummy as I think that he was in his personal life?
Do you want the confirmation? I get it.
Do I need the confirmation, or do I already think this? Like, how does this change? It's like what I joked around about last week. Did you get an OJ prize when he went free?
No.
Okay, did you then get an OJ prize when he went to jail?
No.
No.
Got nothing.
Neither one affected you.
At all, in any way. I understand the injustice part. Like, I get that. But that's just one piece. That's only one piece of what's happening in the country. And the most minimal as far as impact on you every day. I think Tucker is wise to point out those things, because I loved going to the grocery store yesterday, and we filled up the buggy good. And when we left, we were like, wow, about 6 months ago, maybe even 8 months ago, the cost of what we had in that buggy was very, very different than what it is right now.
Yeah.
Personal wealth is up, savings are up, credit card debt. People are finally able to stop using their credit card for everything. That is what is beneficial to you and I. That's what's going to make the American economy hum. That is what is going to be the rising tide that lifts all ships.
I think we were at a 20-year number, and somebody help me out on that just in case if I'm wrong. We had it from 2 weeks ago. The amount of people in this country who said the country was going in the right direction was at a 20-year high. That's when you're just feeling it. That's the troops on the ground. You know, that's the moms who are having to handle this stuff, and the dads that are trying to make things work and trying to make ends meet. But like, we're going back in the right direction.
Don't you find it interesting that that media finds a way to spin debate about different topics under a big tent as, oh my gosh, MAGA
they're
is falling.
splintering.
Yeah, MAGA is falling apart. And I don't even, you and I have said this a million times, we don't even consider ourselves MAGA necessarily.
No,
I just appreciate what Donald Trump is bringing to the table.
I've voted for the guy. I've never been to a rally. Don't own a piece of equipment. Don't have it. In fact, I'm not that person who is just sitting there waiting to tell you about all the stuff that he's done.
Right. That's not what we're talking about at the pool. It's not what we talked about at the pool on Friday.
I wasn't sitting back there like, hey, everybody. Now, I joke around about it in Trump's America. I love when I get to reference that. In Trump's America, I'm at the pool every day.
That's right. Because it's fun, and it's going to piss somebody off.
I know it gets them all hot and bothered. What do you mean you're at the pool every day? Because in Trump's America, things are good enough. I can be at the pool every day.
That's right.
I don't have to figure out other ways to fund this.
But look at all the people that the left would have you believe that are abandoning Donald Trump because of a decision over documents that may exist, may not, or would paint a particular celebrity or politician in a way that just confirms what you already believe. But they would tell you Tucker Carlson and Trump are not getting along. They would tell you that Charlie Kirk and Donald Trump not getting along. They would tell you that whole TPUSA event down in Tampa was an anti-Trump rally. That's the way that they've positioned that. And you know better than that. I know better than that. The beauty of the Big Tent is that we can have discussions. We can even disagree vehemently and still be on the same team.
We should be discussing what we want next. And the real power of what's going on with this administration is that they're listening. Donald Trump, when he is at his very best, I've said this for years now, campaign trail amongst regular people, because he listens.
And he speaks their language, our language.
Very much so. So if you are using Turning Point USA or any other, whether it's a campaign trail sort of, convention or whatever you end up having him appear at, people should be asking for what's next. What's going to be the next thing? When we had on, was it Representative Collins that we basically were asking, hey, what's next?
Yes.
What's coming next?
Mm-hmm.
And he started laying out, here's what our plans are. Here's what we're doing in the House. Now, you just got the signature legislation through. Like every president gets like one big, huge signature piece of legislation, and that's it. He got his through. Now what's next?
Well, that, and think about what he's done to the legacy of Joe Biden and Barack Obama. It's like they didn't even exist for the most part. Obama does still have the Unaffordable Care Act. So if we could ever figure out how to get that fixed, then Obama, even his legacy goes off to the dustbin.
Oh, he's known that for years.
Yeah.
I mean, there's the whole reason why when Donald Trump got into office in 2017, Obama didn't go home. He didn't go back to Illinois. He didn't go head over to Martha's Vineyard or over into California. He bought a residence in D.C.
Because he wanted to be there.
The dude is committed to the destruction of this country.
Without a doubt. And if you're talking about the Epstein thing, you're probably not focused on the things that matter, like those raids in California at the marijuana facilities where there are 14 migrant children that were being exploited and human trafficked. That's the thing you got to pay attention to. ICE is doing the right things. ICE is making America a safer place. ICE is making Donald Trump's campaign promise come true. We will change the outcome of America based on securing the border, which he did immediately, and the ICE raids that are happening now. Is it going to be ugly and painful? Yes, because it was ugly and painful as it was happening. It's like if you put on a whole bunch of weight around the waist, it's going to take some time and effort and pain to get that off of you. It's no different. In life, if it's worth doing, it is going to be a challenge to get it done.
It's the way of the world.
Absolutely is.
Anything worth having is going to take time.
I want you to hear from a Democrat that has at least it right in one place, but let me tell you, he's got it way wrong with his reasoning. Mark Cuban's who I'm talking about when he says it can't just be this when you're talking about Donald Trump.
It's just Trump sucks. That's the underlying, thought of everything the Democrats do. Trump sucks. Trump says, the sky is blue. Trump sucks. You can't, that's not the way to win. It's just not, because it's not about Trump. It's about the people of the United States of America and what's good for them. And how do you get them to a place where they're in a better position and it's less stressful for them?
Did Mark Cuban step away and suddenly get a little more sane?
Yeah, that's exactly right. Yeah, see, I guess so.
Because he hates Donald Trump, and I understand why. I mean, this is a guy who was mocking him for when he was trying to do his own television show.
Yeah, absolutely right. So there's animosity there to begin with. What he's right about is it can't just be Trump sucks. You have to have a plan. You have to say, here's what we're going to do that is better. Problem is, Donald Trump owns the 80% issues. The ones that impact your life, the ones that improve your life, those are the ones he's working on. What has he left the Democrats with? There is nothing for them.
I feel like we have done this segment, but in a different way, because we talked about what happens when you put us on MSNBC and how our discussion point is going to be, you can't just say, F Trump, or Trump sucks, or Trump is stupid, or Trump is Hitler. You have to give Americans an alternate view of what you would do differently, while at times even acknowledging, hey, this is going to work, here's how I would enhance it. Mm-hmm. This is what I'm in favor of.
But
remember,
they can't do that.
When was the last time you heard Gretchen Whitmer's name? When was the last time she showed up in a public forum, or she was talked about, or they brought her on a Sunday show? Gretchen Whitmer.
Months.
Persona non grata, because she dared say, I think these tariffs are going to help the automotive workers in Michigan. And she was photographed in the Oval Office.
Yep.
And that was enough for her to be like, now I don't have a political future as of right now.
Or when she was on stage with Donald Trump, and Trump was so smart
he
to
called
bring
her
up.
over.
He's like, why don't you say a couple words
in your home state?
Yeah, and she was like,
come say hey to the troops.
She almost said something nice about Donald Trump. She stopped herself mid-sentence, if you recall, and pivoted and went in a different direction. But to Los's point, nothing. Crickets. When's the last time?
The Democrat that offers an alternate view, but based off of then piggybacking Donald Trump's success, will be a worthy rival.
Yeah, sure.
That's something, because if Mark Cuban is correct, if all you're going to say is Trump's wrong, Trump's bad, Trump is this, and things continue to get better for people, okay, you've now ostracized yourself. You've made yourself the weirdo. If you were to say, you know, this whole no tax on tips thing, I've talked to a lot of people. It's really working for the American working people. I think we should first and foremost get this extended beyond 2028. Why don't we push this as a 10-year plan? Like, these are the things you should be doing.
And here's some of the other ideas I have about improving Americans' lives in this section, and working folks that are raising families. These are the things that I think on top of that will benefit them, but they can never do that, dude.
No, because
TDS.
You will always be, in this case, tax on tips. You will always be extolling less money for the government. If that's your platform, you will be ostracized within your party. You'll never make it to primary.
And luckily, Mark Cuban already has enough money. He don't have to worry about that.
And fine.
And he's not a politician either. He's a guy that
he's
finances.
An analyst at this point.
And probably finances some campaigns.
And listen, Shark Tank is fun.
Yeah, I love Shark Tank.
I love Shark Tank. I don't agree with Mark Cuban on much of anything, but when they're on Shark Tank, I'm like, this is awesome.
Yeah, and you're like, I see why he turned it down. Or I see some value there too.
Mark Cuban, when he was in college, he bought a bar. He ran a bar. Like, this guy started stuff really early on. Like, he knows what he's doing. And so for him to point out, he certainly didn't know what he was doing when he got pulled off the campaign trail when he said that there are no strong women around Donald Trump.
That's right.
That was the end for Mark Cuban. They're like, off the trail, no more of that. At least what he said here, like, I'm with you. You gotta give alternative views.
He's a smart man. There's no doubt about it. Don't misunderstand.
Smart people step in stuff.
Absolutely,
it can happen.
They do. And many times, I mean, think about how many times billionaires, before they were billionaires, went bankrupt or had a business to fail. I always go back to Ted Turner. Because he's Atlanta, and he failed so many times until he stumbled on CNN and then bought the Braves and then did many, many things that were really good. But he had a lot of missteps, a lot of stumbles in there prior to that. The leftists in sports media, the world that Front Office Los came from, have a new plan for boxing matches, and you're going to hate it. Next on the Morning Extra on Extra 106.3.
The latest sports news, powered by 680 The Fan and driven to extra listeners by RBM of Atlanta in Sandy Springs, Atlanta's Mercedes-Benz connection since 1964.
Good morning. Here are your sports headlines for Monday, July 14th. The All-Star break in Major League Baseball is now here, as Truist Park will host tomorrow's All-Star game. Tonight, Home Run Derby gets underway at 8 o'clock. Braves first baseman Matt Olson will be among the 8 participants. As for the team, the Braves took 2 of 3 in St. Louis over the weekend against the Cardinals, despite a 5-4 loss yesterday afternoon. The team reaches the break with a record of 42-53. With your sports headlines, I'm Carlos Medina. Hey, it's Carlos again. Let's talk about the honest car guy. That's Tom Mitchell. Now, how easy is it to work with Tom? First off, all you've got to do is reach out to honestcarguy.com or give him a call, 844-SHOW-ME-1. That's 844-SHOW-ME-1. What do you have to bring to the table? Well, you just have to let Tom know what make and model you're interested in. That's it. That's all. That's the extent of it. At that point, Tom is going to involve you in the process. And what you're going to find out is that when you work with Tom, he's going to save you thousands of dollars on your next transaction for that next vehicle. He'll find it wherever it is around the country. When you have certain things you want with it, maybe it's a certain package you want, maybe it's a certain mileage, maybe you want it brand new. No matter what, he will find that vehicle for you. And again, save you thousands of dollars when you start to see what the dealerships tack on over and over and over again to make sure that when they sell that vehicle, they're going to make sure they make their money. That's when you're going to know all about the car buying process. So what do? You just go ahead and reach out to Tom, honestcarguy.com or 844-SHOW-ME-1. That's 844-SHOW-ME-1. I've done the research. I've done the information on this. I got a 14-year-old who's going to be 15 soon. We're buying a car, and we're going to buy one from Tom. Honest Car Guy, honestcarguy.com.
Ever regret a bad decision? Life is full of twists and turns and unfortunately a few regrets. Don't let new windows for your home be one of those regrets. Call the pros at Peach State Windows today. Get 8 Energy Star approved double hung vinyl replacement windows installed for only $39.95. That's 8 windows installed for only $39.95. Call or click today, 770-485-8011. That's 770-485-8011 or peachstatewindows.com.
Hi, this is Tara, owner and publisher of Our Town Monthly, Cobb's premier lifestyle magazine. Did you know that we have world-class entertainment right here in our own backyard?
Thanks, Tara. You're right. I am Emily Shipp, the director of the Dallas Theater and Civic Center, and we have something for the entire family. From hysterical comedians, incredible concerts, and engaging stage productions, our full show season is packed with must-see performances. And best of all at affordable prices. And we're more than just great shows. Our education department offers classes and workshops for ages 7 through adult. Along with the Dallas Theater, the Civic Center is available for private rentals like weddings, receptions, recitals, professional events, and so much more. Visit DallasTheaterGA.com as well as our social media to view our season schedule, register for classes, or book your next event today.
Wow, Emily, affordable entertainment, education, and celebrations. Check it out, friends. And remember, Our Town is your town at Our Town Monthly.
By texting 26022, you agree to receive recurring automated marketing messages from Tax Lien Code. Message and data rates may apply. Terms apply. Available at taxliencode.com.
Imagine waking up and not needing to rush. No commute, no emails, no boss. Just coffee, sunlight, and the freedom to choose. That's the power of tax lien investing. It's been around for over 200 years, used by banks, hedge funds, and the wealthy. And now, finally, it's being taught right here in Atlanta. It's secure, predictable, passive income backed by real estate and mandated by state law. And it pays you, sometimes 15 to 35% returns. You don't need to own property. You just need to see how it works and how to do it right. We've taught over 100,000 students, and we'll teach you for free at a live masterclass right here in Atlanta. If you're ready to start building real wealth through tax lien investing, this is it. Text EARN to 26022 to reserve your free seat. That's EARN to 26022. But hurry, seats are limited. Text EARN to 26022.
There's no better place to be than Truist Park this summer, especially when the Braves face the Yankees and the Giants. July 18th through the 23rd. On July 20th, the first 3,000 kids will receive a copy of the Goodnight Braves Fans children's book. And then on July 21st, the first 15,000 fans will receive a Braves rope hat, presented by Napa. Visit Braves.com/promos to check out more giveaways and fun at Truist Park.
Acuna strikes one to deep right field on the rise. Carroll turns around.
There's some smoke right into the chop owl.
And fans can enjoy any of these games during the week with the T-Mobile Summer Steal deal. With the Summer Steal, you can choose from one of 3 seating locations for any regular season game, weekends included, and receive a ticket, snack, and a drink for as low as $30. Or if you prefer something different, you can choose any menu item up to $12. Visit Braves.com/steal to purchase your tickets today. Atlanta Braves baseball. We are Braves country.
With over $1 trillion in interest payments, the government is borrowing money just to pay the interest. That isn't going to change. The financial system is under a pressure it cannot sustain. And the hard truth is, you are responsible for your retirement. And you have to get prepared. Because if you don't, there are consequences, and the consequences are not going to be kind. This isn't about fear. I don't want to scare you. It's about reality. And if you're not making moves to protect and prepare, you're leaving your retirement to chance. And hope is not a strategy. It's time to act. Before the markets start to act up, own some gold. If you want to know why gold could be your best performing asset in 2025, call Lear Capital today at 800-889-3070 for your free $4,200 gold report. See why gold could be headed for record highs in 2025. Call 800-889-3070 and ask how you can get up to $15,000 in bonus gold with a qualifying purchase. 800-889-3070.
The legend Neil Bortz is only on Extra 106.3. Hey, it's Kimmer. How's it going? Here's what you missed from the Talkmaster.
I'm a proponent of the death penalty. You knew that. But I heard something that I would consider as a viable alternative. How about a life sentence where the murderer is never allowed to contact his family again? After all, the victim can't contact their family.
Catch Neil's commentary every day on Extra 106.3 or listen anytime on the Extra 106.3 app.
Tug and Los until 10, then back Clay and Buck and the local afternoon show with the one and only Kimmer, Pete and Flounder here on Extra 106.3. I just saw this picture. I wanted to show it to you, Los, and this will be probably puzzling. It'll probably take you a little while to figure it out.
Did you zoom in really close to yourself and take a picture?
No, I didn't.
Like you're like, figure out what part of my body this is from.
No, that sounds weird.
Looks like Mars, doesn't it?
No, I did not do that.
Come on, Chris. You know other dudes have done like weird stuff like that.
Jamie Lee Curtis says nobody knows which of her daughters are trans.
I'm not partaking.
Yes. And she said she wouldn't have it any other way.
Now,
if I were to set that up there and you just take just a random stab at which one might be a man pretending to be a woman, which one would you think, left or right?
Let me illustrate how this happened in my life yesterday when I saw it.
Oh, did you already see this? Okay.
I want you to say the Pledge of Allegiance, and I will show you at what point that I discovered this. Now.
Because
you can't tell. Well, yeah, you can. Quite a bit.
The one daughter looks like the Penguin from yes, when Danny DeVito was
from
the
Batman.
Penguin. Yeah, from back in 1989.
Yeah.
I mean, that
looks like Batman Returns Penguin.
That's right.
And that's being ugly, Tug. But if you're going, no.
Okay.
No, you've used it against me. Am I wrong? No, you're not. You're 100% correct.
I'm not trying to be ugly. I'm just making an observation. That's all. Because she told me I would have no idea.
You want to do the Pledge of Allegiance test again? Right now.
That's right. Exactly. So
that was my moment yesterday where I went, oh no.
Yeah, because the actual daughter is a very pretty, just like Jamie Lee Curtis, a very pretty woman. The actual daughter is a very, very pretty woman. The son is not?
Is this for Freakier Friday?
I would imagine.
Is that what they're pushing?
I'm thinking, yes. It's part of the presentation.
First off, great for Lindsay Lohan. Because let's face it, about 15 years ago, we weren't really sure if Lindsay Lohan was going to be hanging around here much longer.
Dude, I'm telling you, she was out of control.
And she had a run there where she looked, again, Hollywood starlet, the next big thing. I'm sure I was like, kind of crushing on her a little bit, like, oh, she's so pretty.
She's doll.
And then she went off the rails.
Yeah, went crazy.
But looks like she got it back. She looks healthy, looks sober. Yeah.
And I think she's married now, isn't she? She's married to like a...
Better not be.
Maybe I'm wrong. I could be wrong about that. But anyway, Freakier Friday, I'm sure that's what it was about because that comes out August the 8th, I think.
Yeah, she, by the way, she just turned 39. Mm-hmm. So good for her.
Such a pretty girl.
Because in her early 20s,
yeah,
it was going to be a little shaky.
It was
there.
touch and go.
Yeah, I was like, I don't know. Like after the like movies of like 2004 through 2006, remember she was like one of them that would like step out of the car in different places around Hollywood, and you're like, there ain't no underwear there.
Yeah. She was acting crazy with a capital C. This is a crazy idea, and it's from your neck of the woods. It's from where you migrated from. You don't ever hear country folks talking about this, where I migrated from.
No. Maybe when you talk about country executives,
yes,
but there's
right, yeah.
there's no one involved in country music where you go, hey, did you hear how crazy woke they are?
You nailed it, though. The execs would have, so I stand corrected, and I would be guilty.
But the sports media,
that you came from,
the sports media, by and large, is crazy leftist, and part of it is almost like they have to contain it the whole time. So when you allow it to get out, they go nuts. Like about the amount of times Bob Costas has lectured people about guns.
Oh, my God.
Or Peter King, when he used to write with SI.
Yeah.
Peter King, every single Monday morning quarterback would have something about gun control. And you're like, dude, just write about the NFL. I didn't sign up for all of this.
Unsubscribe.
Now, keep in mind, when I was over there, I didn't say anything until it was time. All I ever said was, hey, some of these policies that we're planning in order to play football are pretty stupid.
Seem all crazy.
It's just kind of crazy. So I want you to take a listen. This is a sports media, and this is, I guess, Jake Paul getting ready to, regardless of what you think about him, you're going to like this line. So they're asking, this is a sports reporter who's going to set the woke world on fire by asking about one of the things that goes on in UFC and in boxing are ring girls, to the point where in the UFC they're just known, like they're decked out in Monster Energy gear.
Yep.
Here's who
Beautiful
they are.
girls.
Everyone knows. They say who their name is because they're part of the company.
Yep.
Like, so it's not like here's a random girl over with this boxing match. Like they're actually celebrated in this way. I want you to take a listen to this person ask about, well, why don't we change it up a little bit, and hear what the guys had to say about it.
Sexualization of women. Do you want ring? Well, a couple of people have said that white don't have boys or none of any of them at all. I just wanna bring to the attention the conversation of it.
Please stop talking.
If anybody wants to submit an application to be a ring boy to MVP, send it to that young man.
Send it to Kamala Harris.
No,
thank you.
Love that, because in a combat sport, I don't have time for your BS.
And don't want it. That's the other thing.
If you don't know what happens whenever Donald Trump walks into like a UFC match,
heroes welcome.
They go nuts. And then when you have like one of the greats, like John Jones, and he just recently retired. John Jones, when he won his last fight, what was the first thing he did? The Trump dance.
That's right. Yep.
Right in front of Donald Trump.
That's right. Yep. I remember.
It's like these are nonsense people. And to hear even a guy like Paul basically making a point, why don't you take it over? And I love it. Shut up.
Nobody wants to hear this. Nobody's in favor of it. There's nothing here. Let's not even, because, I don't know what page you're on now. But
this is from UFC.com.
Yeah.
And they have all their ring girls. Again, like I told you, like Monster sponsored. Yep. Here's what it is.
They're like the Dallas Cowboy cheerleaders.
Yes.
That level of respect.
Yeah. Again, they have a sponsorship through Monster Energy drink.
They get paid too.
Yes. Like they're part of the promotional team. As much as the fighters are what they are, the Octagon girls have their own money that comes their way from this stuff.
I got to tell you, I don't even watch Ultimate Fighting. I don't typically watch boxing.
You should.
Yeah, right. But if it were on, it'd be fine to hang out. It's just not my thing. Whatever. As a guy that doesn't even take in the product, I could have told you from the get-go that was a stupid idea and nobody was going for it.
Some of the Octagon girls make $5,000 a night for the appearances.
Wow. Yeah, that's a good day's work.
Imagine you do 10 or 20 of them during the year, because remember, there's one every single weekend.
Yeah.
So some of them are going to be less. Like some of the local, the Vegas ones are like $1,000.
Okay, but still.
But the pay-per-views and the bigger events, that's $5,000.
Dude, if you're working regular job 9 to 5, and then you can pick up an extra $1,000 to $5,000 on the weekend, how do I sign up for that? I will be a ring fella if y'all don't pay me like that. But nobody would because ain't nobody want to see me. They would rather see her. The one that's holding up that
cycling through all of them. Yep.
Yeah. That's just silly. Whoever brought that up, whoever that dude was brought that up was just
some people straw man. Some people have said.
Yeah, some people have said.
Why don't you just say you said it?
Yeah. Be brave enough to wear your own argument. But no, they're not. That'll do it for us. We're going to turn this thing over to the Glenn Beck program. We appreciate you being here. Appreciate Chris powering through.
Thank you, Chris.
A little under the
nice
weather
job.
today, and in for Jure, who's back tomorrow for Front Office Los. My name is Tug. Y'all come back now. You hear?
Live and local news talk continues at 3 p.m. with Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder. It's the Kimmer Show, only on Extra 106.3 and the Extra app.
It's that time of year again. Chuck, the owner of Central Heating and Air Conditioning, is bringing back the 5th annual Christmas in July benefiting Skyland Trail, a nonprofit leading the way in mental health wellness right here in Atlanta. Skyland Trail provides expert, evidence-based treatment to help people facing mental health challenges find a path to recovery. Central Heating and Air Conditioning